Because who would impersonate a farmer? This is my question. Who would steal the valor of being a farmer? Who would dress up in overalls and carry a pitchfork and say, I'm a farmer, and then be dressed down, get roundly excoriated for not being a farmer? Guys, I'm back. I'm ready to keep talking. Would I want Christian Bale to play me in a biopic? Which version Christian Bale? Because if you found out that Christian Bale was uglying up to play you, which I think, like, Dick Cheney has to deal with the fact that, like, Christian Bale is uglying up to play you. I think that would be a real slap kiss. In this case, a kiss slap, where somebody would say, John, really Bale. But Christian Bale has to prepare by eating garbage and not working out. And he's going to method act by masturbating way too much and being selfish. And not working out. And he's going to method act by masturbating way too much and being selfish. And then I would be horrified. And then I would be horrified. Do I own a pair of Yeezys? Yes. Will I wear them? It's a little obvious, and I don't. And I also feel like I get a lot of love from Nike, and I'm a loyalist. So I just figure, like, if I'm not wearing Yeezys by now, I'm a Nike. You got to choose your lane, you know? When you gonna find love? No idea. I'm just gonna be me, and stay groovy and see what happens. Under Armour is just not better than Nike, and you just very much. Do I own Supreme? Yes. I have some good old Supreme. I've got some good old Supreme. I used to live down the street from Supreme, and I don't know, I got some good old Supreme. I used to live down the street from Supreme, and I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a time in the world where you could just walk into Supreme. We get really cool stuff. I've got the Richard Prince skateboards because it was like, those are the Richard Prince skateboards. I have the Richard Prince Louis Vuitton bags that came out during the market crash, and I was like, I'm getting those Richard Prince bags. And I was right, because no one has the Richard Prince Louis Vuitton stuff. But it's the jam. Thanks. Yeah, I don't search for... I don't know. Here's my take on love. You should pretend it doesn't exist, if only as an instrument to going on through life. So pretend it doesn't exist and let love prove you wrong. That's how I do it. Pretend it doesn't exist and let it prove you wrong. Kate, you're not the only person who... and let it prove you wrong. Kate, you're not the only person who said that they don't know what I'm talking about half the time. And this raises a question. Should I be offended that you think that, or should you be offended that I think I make a lot of sense and that it might be your reception of what I'm saying? So because of that impasse that we're at, that I don't feel like crossing, I'm dropping it. Own any baritone PRS? No, I don't. I do not. It would be funny if that really was Garth Brooks asking me that. What if it keeps proving me, no, it's not. It's true about love. It's true about love. Well, Patty, I'm not calling her stupid, just like she's not calling me crazy. You see, favorite Jeff Buckley song? Oh, man. Lover, You Should Have Come Over. It's a perfect song. It's a masterpiece. Lover, You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley is a total masterpiece. Chad bought a sewing machine. This is all the more reason I want to connect, but you are unable to join. All right. Guilty pleasure, I have none. I stand tall in my pleasures. I don't hide behind the moniker of guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasure is just a way to mitigate what you think is going to be other people's criticism of the shit you like. Not interested in that. Not interested in that. Huge fan of Paramore. Who's the prettiest woman in the world? That's a great question, fraught with peril on how you answer it, but it's a great question. I can tell you like when the few times when I saw somebody and was like this person is phenomenal. I mean, there have been times. Although architecture is interesting. I remember a few times in my life I was like, this, I can't believe this is real. And not in my personal life, but just like out at a party or something. Longest song I wrote. I don't know. I feel like that's really easy to look up. Do I like Family Guy? I like Family Guy. You know, it's really funny. I was talking with my friend about this years ago, and it seems to have stuck as something worth remembering. I want to date a girl who likes Family Guy but doesn't love Family Guy. I think that's, you want someone to, Family Guy. I think that's, you want someone to like Family Guy but not like love Family Guy. And that's just the truth. My New Year's resolution is going to be, and this is serious, removing the things that I do or see, more importantly, that have a sort of deleterious effect on me that I'm not aware that it's having on me. So, and I admonish you to do the same thing. What I want you to do in December is just audit how you feel, of how I feel based on what I take in. Because we're responsible for feeding ourselves what we see and what we hear and the information we take in and the conversations that we're a part of or the conversations that we take in. Because we're responsible for feeding ourselves what we see and what we hear and the information we take in and the conversations that we're a part of or the conversations that take inventory as to how I feel based on what I ingest. And all of the things that make me feel bad are going to be deleted on December 31st. There is a lot of stuff that makes me feel ill that I have stopped connecting the dots as to what the impetus for it is, and I'm tired of feeling that low-grade emotional, psychological malaise. And I suggest that everybody do it. We're all guilty of being hooked in these loops of habit of ingesting things psychologically. So I'm going to remove all of that stuff. And like, here's something I want to throw out at you. And I'm not suggesting that you think any further than just this cycle. And like, here's something I want to throw out at you. And I'm not suggesting that you think any further than just this cycle of somebody tweets something, there is a powerful response to it, all on Twitter, and then Twitter does tweets about the response to the tweet. Pay attention to, there is this impetus of a tweet that is either controversial or it stirs people up or it's wrong, quote unquote, or whatever way. Then people only on Twitter, here's what people on Twitter are saying about the tweet. Just pay attention to things that happen only completely in Twitter, and just pay attention to it. That's all I'm saying. Just look at it and out in the box, and people are punished in the box. It's just worthy of mention. That's all. I call it Twitter bingo. If something began attention to things that happen only completely in Twitter, and just pay attention to it. That's all I'm saying. Just look at it and out in the box, and people are punished in the box. It's just worthy of mention. That's all. I call it Twitter bingo. If something began, a whole thing takes place in the Matrix. And I think that it's worth pointing out what those synthetic situations are. And we need to ask ourselves, are those real things? Do those really matter? In what way are they important? Do they get the same amount of fervor from us? Do they get the same amount of attention? When something is Twitter bingo, I look at it and I go, I'm not sure if that deserves the same amount of emotional investment that other things in the real world. All December, if you don't like it, cut it. so that you same amount of attention. When something is Twitter bingo, I look at it and I go, I'm not sure if that deserves the same amount of emotional investment that other things in the real world. All December, if you don't like it, cut it, so that you slide into 2018 with a mental diet that is healthy and makes you feel. It precedes January 1st. So it's like the last month of the year, and what a long year it's been, and you use that as your R&D, your research and development, and then you can implement it right on December 31st. Do I ever slide in the... Occasionally. All right, listen, I'm out of here. Am I going to drop a new album soon? Not in the immediate future. Jazz album, I recorded one, haven't cut it up yet. I don't have that far of a radius before I bring myself back in. All right, listen, I'm out of here. Am I going to drop a new album soon? Not in the immediate future. Jazz album, I recorded one, haven't cut it up yet. I don't have that far of a radius before I bring myself back in. Okay, you guys are awesome. Are you? Yes, I'm able to immediately filter negative comments because I understand it's a currency exchange. One negative Twitter comment is worth one thousandth of an in-person comment. 1/1000th. Most negative comments reveal more about the commenter than you. So usually within the first 4 or 5 words, I know what kind of negative comment. There's only like 4 different kinds of negatives. Number of positives reveal more about the commenter than you. So usually within the first 4 or 5 words, I know what kind of negative comment. There's only like 4 different kinds of negatives. Number of positive comments. But most negative comments represent a fashion of thinking, and there's just not that many fashions of thinking. So most negative comments are prefabricated thinking. I look at it, I go, okay, this follows a syntax structure and is affecting me. It's more people just like registering with you what their fashion of thinking is. That's all. Favorite song tonight? Oh, we had some good ones. Sugary was killing. I love a guy. And and then we did Deep Ellum Blues, and the harmonies were killer, and that was the first time we've ever done it. And we did Deep Ellum Blues, and the harmonies were killer, and that was the first time we've ever done it. Love you too, Global Namaste. And my favorite meme, it used to be the ones where people just embraced death. I don't know why I thought it was so funny. Okay, you guys are awesome. I'm out. Have a great rest of your Friday night, the Friday after Thanksgiving. Don't take a shower. Don't shower. Just be grimy, man. Just have fun. And I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.